Jangan salah scan Ini section 8 saja. Tadi section 7. You can see on the top here. Okay, so 10, 33 students, and this one 33 students, 66. Limlita kan you already scan. Scan for section 7, okay. Kita belum start apa-apa lagi kan hari tu? Baru introduction ni. First line ni dah sudah kan? Okay, this one what? Dah. Yang efficiency dan effectiveness dah belum?
Belum.
Belum Okay, saya back to the screen. Ni siapa yang lambat ni tak payah scan lah. Tadi Lalita, okay, section 8. Okay, this is for attendance section 8. You have to read here. Section 8. Jangan salah scan.
Dah tak
Susah nak
section 7 tadi saya tak sempat dah ni.
Apa dia?
Untuk section 7 sebab saya tadi masuk awal lah, cuma nak setting lambat. Okay, itu section 8. Mana Limlita? Tak ada pun nama dia. Okay. Alright, so this one is section 7. Siapa yang miss tadi? This one section 7 for those who are missing to scan the QR code. Section 7 saja jangan salah section. Siapa yang dah lambat 10 to 15 minutes tu kita tak allow masuk kelas lah, ganggu. Okay, done. Right, let me check 39. Kenapa boleh jadi 39? This one 40, okay. Okay, so back to our business. Alright. Skrin tak tukar. Dekat skrin saya ni dah tukar, dekat you punya ni tukar tak?
Tukar.
Saya tengok dekat handphone saya tak check, tak tukar pula.
Dekat slide.
Sekarang 19.
Effectiveness.
Okay. So you all boleh nampak lah Okay, mungkin internet kat rumah saya slow sikit lah. Okay, Assalamualaikum and very good morning. Okay, so today we will continue for chapter 1 lah. Because we missed for 2 hours last week. So, okay, previously I already explained about the level of managers and who are the managers. Okay, because one day after you graduate, after maybe 5 to 6 years, you work as a engineer, junior engineer, then you will be promoted to be senior engineer. And then some of the company, they don't have the level of the senior engineer, but they will be promoted as the manager for small company. But for big company, normally you have to climb up the ladder lah, because a junior engineer, senior engineer, principal engineer, and then staff engineer. But staff engineer will be same level with the first line of manager. Okay. So insyaAllah within 10 years after you have vast experience in industry, so you will be promoted as a manager. But with some quality of the manager lah. Okay. Alright. So what is management? So normally to be an engineer, you have to think about two things. Okay. So at the managerial concerns, they only think about efficiency and effectiveness. Why we need to think about efficiency? Because we want to make sure all staff doing things right. Why the staff have to do things right? Because we want to get the most output for the least input. So that is efficiency. Less input, okay, maybe less material but more output. Less time but can do a lot of work. Okay, less energy but can produce a very efficient work. So that is one thing. The second thing is effectiveness. On top of efficiency, ni Aminuddin kalau lambat sangat tak payah masuk kelas ya Aminuddin. Okay, on top of efficiency, so we have to think about effectiveness. So what is effectiveness? Effectiveness is doing the things, the right things. First tadi, doing things right. Maknanya less input, higher output. Okay, so kita tak bazir kita punya material, kita tak bazir kita punya energy. Kita put less input, maknanya it's just very nice to put the input, the reasonable input, but we have the capability and able to produce high output. Okay, sama juga as a student, you only spend, for example, maybe 2 hours for one subject, but at the end, even though you spend 2 hours but very efficient, so you can score A+ for the subject. So that is efficient. But effectiveness is you are doing the right things. So as a student means you have to study. It's not play the game. Okay, so that is effectiveness. So when we combine efficiency and effectiveness, of course your output will be will be very, very high efficient, very high productive. We call it as high productive. Okay. So effectiveness is attaining organizational goal. So whatever the goal of the organization, so you just follow. So that is the doing the right things. Okay. Right. So this is the resource usage. When we do resource usage at low waste, so that is efficiency. And effectiveness, that is the high attainment, where you are trying to achieve the goal attainment. And then when you combine efficiency and effectiveness, so the management strive for high efficiency and high effectiveness. So in terms of cost, at lower cost, and at the same time you will reach and achieve the goal attainment of the organization. Okay. So this is what the managers do. Okay, for function, because we have many approach for the managers. Okay, for functional approach, the basic approach is the manager will do the planning, will do the organizing the people, organizing the structure of work, and so on. Okay, and of course, manager will lead people. And then lastly is controlling. Kat belakang ada lagi ke? Okay, tak ada. So after they plan, they organize, they lead the people to accomplish the goal of the setting goal, and then they have to monitor their subordinates to do the correcting work, to do the work incorrectly. Okay, then afterwards they do the comparison lah. Comparison between worker A and worker B, who is the best. So at the end of the year, they will give the appraisal. So that is the controlling. Okay, so this is the functional approach. But based on Mintzberg, okay, so Mintzberg says management roles approach, it should be involved with interpersonal roles. So the manager or the leader should be a figurehead, should be a leader, should be a liaison. Okay, so figurehead mean, okay, everything that we know, okay, that is the leader. You have to portray you are a good leader. So that is the figurehead. And you will be the liaison people. So whatever it is, you have to liaison with other department to to bring the issues from your department. And then second, management roles approach under Mintzberg saying on top of interpersonal roles, you also have a play role as informational. So what is informational? You will be the spokesperson. You will be the disseminator. You will monitor all the information. So everything you have to know about your department, your worker. So that is informational roles. Whatever information from top management, so you have to disseminate the information to your worker to make sure your worker understand. Okay, so similar with the a project leader for your project. If you are assigned as a leader for the project, so you have to be a figurehead as a leader. You have the interpersonal skill as a leader. Good communication skill, so dekat situ lah. Okay, and then informational role, you will lead the information, or you will crack your head to think how to structure all the information and disseminate the information to your team members. If your team members is not understand, so you will be the spokesperson to talk to lecturer. Okay, and then next is decisional roles. So if let's say there is a disturbance handler in your team or in your workplace, so you will make a decision. You will be the negotiator, you will be the resource allocator to find the problem, to solve the problem. You will make a decision. But the way you make a decision, kita ada banyak-banyak cara lah. Okay? But after all, you will be the decision maker. Okay? Right, next. Miss Burke says, managers actually do the interaction. So they do the interaction with others, they do the interaction among the team members, among the worker in the department, or they also do the interaction with the organization or other department. Okay. So they do the interaction with the external context of the organization, for example, supplier, vendor, or warehouse, or whoever outsider or auditor. Okay, so that is the manager's skill. And then a reflection. Of course, as a manager or as a leader, you always do the reflection. Thoughtful thinking. You are not sembrono or something like that. No. You have to think what is right for what is the clear path for your team members to achieve the goal. Baru kita kata leader. Okay. And then next is action. Action is practical doing. It's not only talking, it's not only membawang as Chancellor says, but we do the action. Whatever we talk, so we do the action. Okay. And then these are some of the skill approach. As a manager, you have to have like these three things, these three skills: technical skills, human skills, and conceptual skills. So what is the technical skills? Technical skills is knowledge and proficiency in a specified field. So for example, okay, you are a manager of engineering department. So of course, you have to have the technical skill. If not, if your background in business, for example, and then suddenly you apply for a position of engineering manager, and then whatever your anak buah presented to you, then you don't understand in terms of technical. Because at the end you will you will make a decision. So in terms of technical, you have to do the background check. Okay. And then second is human skills. What is human skills? The ability to work well with other people. So this one is not only for manager, but also as a team member. Human skills also is very important for the manager. If let's say you have your anak buah have a problem, because sometimes you are a leader, so under you have a lot of people, okay, to manage, and then their character is different one to each other. One may be introvert, and the next one may be extrovert, and the next one maybe can do the work silently and don't know how to communicate with other people. Or the other one is maybe is lazy, just tai chi all the work to other people. So you as a leader and manager, if you have the human skills, so easy for you to tackle for this problematic people or the top performer, for them to be more perform in the future. So that is human skills. And in fact, we also have to put a little bit on sympathy. Okay, if your team members or your subordinates have a problem, so you have to approach them to know what is the real situation before you make the decision. So that is human skills as well. Okay, next is conceptual skills. So what is conceptual skills? Conceptual skills is the ability to think and conceptualize about abstract and complex situations concerning the organization. So we have a very complicated situation, but how you transcribe this complicated and abstract situation to be more understandable for your worker, which is not managerial position, because the level of thinking is different. Okay, sometimes the manager have more information from top management, so they understand well. But then when you disseminate all the information to your subordinates, and then your subordinates is among operators or among technicians, so their understanding have a limited understanding. So you have to explain and try to conceptualize to make sure your subordinates understand easily. Okay, so that is conceptual skills. And then in fact, for operator or low level, they understand on the daily basis of operation. But for manager, is more on fundamental, more on concept, more on okay, for example, in UTM, we have Envision 2025, isn't it? Are you familiar with that?
No.
Oh, kenapa tak familiar? You are living UTM. You are a student of UTM.
Dia pernah dengar lah.
Pernah dengar? Okay, kita check sekejap. Envision 2025. What does it mean? Kalau negara, we have Envision 2030 kan? Okay, kalau UTM, we have Envision 2025. So we are looking ahead for next 5 years. Sekejap mana dia punya ni. We have the framework. Bukan ni. Okay, saya tengok saya punya session lah sekejap. Saya punya file. Ini yang lama tak ada lah yang depan ni. Envision 2025. Check here.
Ni. Okay, nampak tak? Nampak yang berbumbung ni?
Nampak Datuk?
Nampak.
So this is the conceptual from UTM top management. Okay, where they have a concept in order to achieve to be this one vision, a premier university providing world-class education and research. So that is the aim of the organization of UTM. So this is our mission. So they divide the idea for, to be world-class education and research to be core values of UTM, integrity, synergy, excellence and sustainability. And then we have the strategic trust, the tiang-tiang for each of the staff and staff and students. So we divide into strategic trust. So what is the strategic trust? World-class holistic talents. So we are trying to develop the students to be a holistic talent. So how we want to achieve that? We have the strategic priorities where we produce holistic talent by developing high quality graduates. And the second is provide continuous upskilling of university staff to achieve excellence in education and research. So we divide into two, one for student, another one for staff. Okay, sekejap nak saya menangis pula. Okay, sorry. Okay, so when we go for strategic priorities, okay, this one as a vice chancellor, as a TNC, as a lecturer also can understand this one. But when we want to make sure the students understand, okay, because student maybe not reveal for this, okay, maybe you don't know about the holistic talent, what is our aim for the, what is our expectation to the students, okay. So maybe some of the students not really understand what does it mean by produce holistic talent by developing high quality graduates, in terms of what. So your academic advisor, so you have your academic advisor will play a role to disseminate this information to the student. How they disseminate the information? They will say, okay, your study, okay, you cannot graduate around 2.3 pointer. You have to graduate at least 3.3 or 3.4 pointer. But they don't explicitly saying, okay, our UTM aims to develop high quality graduates. From the conceptual conceptual method, we try to layman the language to make sure the student understand. And we also, as an academic advisor, will advise the student, okay, on top of your academic excellence, you also have to join with activity in university, activity in the college. You will be the all-rounder graduates. But it is actually to fulfill this S1. Okay, so yang tu yang the concept is there, but how we deliver from the concept to transcribe to the non-managerial level. Okay, faham? Faham tak?
Faham Dato'?
Faham
Faham.
Okay, rasanya yang ni first time you all tengok kot.
Betul.
Okay, nanti boleh tengok lah ni. Saya screenshot. Nanti you all boleh tengok. Sebenarnya kami ni nak prepare you all ni sebagai apa sebenarnya?
Terima kasih, Madam.
Sama-sama. Okay, next. Okay, so that is the main three skills as a manager or leader should have. Okay. Alright. So we back to the level of managers. We have top managers, we have middle managers, and we have lower level managers. So lower level managers will deal directly with non-managerial people. So that's why for non-managerial people, they more understand on the daily basis operation. So daily basis operation will have the technical skill. So that's why for lower level manager will have the more technical skills compared to human skill and top managers. But for top managers, they have the conceptual skill, they have the idea. But how to deliver the idea, it based to the lower level managers and the non-managerial level lah to achieve it. Okay. They only have the idea how to bring this organization to be more international, to be more world-class level of the organization. Okay. However, for middle managers, they have to have the three skills. Okay, yang shading ni maknanya dia kurang sikit lah. Maknanya top manager will have lesser technical skills. They will be more focused on the conceptual skills. But middle managers, they is the middleman between lower level manager and top manager. So to make sure the lower level manager understand, so middle manager have to understand the conceptual skills. That's why the middle manager also have to have the very good human skills, because they have to understand the conceptual as well as technical skills to deliver the information to the lower level managers, to make sure lower level managers understand. So they have the all these three skills. Okay, right. So this is basic what is the conceptual skills means lah. The conceptual skills is more on using information to solve business problems on the conceptual level. Okay, they will identify opportunities for innovation, but how to do it, they don't know. Okay, similar with Tun Mahathir previously. Tun Mahathir said, okay, I want the KLCC two tower, and then the element of the KLCC should be have the Islamic elements. But how to do it, he don't know. He just have the idea, and he knows that opportunity for innovation. Okay, so third, recognizing problem areas and implementing solutions. They have the idea, they can recognize the problem areas, and then they know how to what is the solution, but they know how to do it, because how to do it they will pass to lower level manager and the non-managerial level. Okay, And then selecting critical information from mass of data. Okay, so that is the conceptual skills lah. Maknanya from the a lot of information, so we can get what is the main point to cater. Okay, so that is the selecting critical information. And then understanding of business use of technology. Okay, because without business use of technology, then the organization will go nowhere. Okay, cuma stagnant je. And lastly, understanding of organizations business model. So business model is similar like the framework yang tiang tadi lah, yang tiang rumah UTM tu tadi. So that is one of the business model. Okay. While the communication skill, okay, ini is not only for the leader but as a future engineer, okay, you also have to develop this one. You have the ability to transform ideas into words and actions. Okay, that's why when you work, yang ni semua dah pernah pergi latihan industri belum? Internship?
Baru je.
So baru balik
Dah.
Okay. So when you have during your internship, can you see some of the engineer, they are very good in explaining. They are very good in presentation skills, the way they spoke, the way they write a report. Okay, so that is the communication skill. And then maybe you can compare with other engineer yang different worker. Okay, they only do their own work, and then when the manager asks, okay, manager asks 10 questions, and they just reply maybe five questions, because they don't know how to transform their idea into words. So when these two characteristics, most of the organization, actually all of the organization will prefer for those can transform ideas into words and action at the same time. So agak-agak kalau sekarang ni you are final year, okay, your fourth year, if you find yourself have lack of confidence to present in English or speak in English, and you lack of confidence to give the idea, so starting from now you have to train yourself. Okay, talk a lot. Okay, practice your English, practice your speaking and writing. And if you get the idea and you have to portray that idea is like more bombastic idea. Tapi jangan goreng banyak sangat lah, nanti hangus. Okay, but you explain it with fact. Because I believe all UTM students, in terms of action, they don't have a problem. But in terms of to transform the ideas into words, because we are engineering people, so we talk less, we do a lot of action. But if you want to be promoted faster, so you have to train yourself to balance between words and action. Okay. Ni ada siapa makan ni? Nurin ke siapa? Okay, dengar you tengah munyah. Alright. And then credibility among colleagues, peers and subordinates. So when you have a very good communication skill, okay, so of course your colleagues, your peers, your subordinates will recognize you, recognize your talent. Okay, and then next, listening and asking questions. So listening is a skill as well. It's not just keep asking without knowing where do you want to lead. Okay, first you have to listen. After you listen, then you ask the question, a proper question. Okay, and then next is presentation skills. So starting from fourth year onwards, I believe most of the courses that you attended, okay, we will do a lot of presentation skills. And spoken format. Spoken format means your intonation, your selection of words, okay, your sentence, your structure of sentence. So that is the communication skill. Especially, ni bukan saya nak rendahkan, tapi especially for those from Kelantan, from Penang, ni from based on my past experience lah with the students. Okay, from Kedah, okay, when they speak English, sometimes they speak English with Kedah, Penang ataupun Kelantan punya slang a little bit. So that makes your presentation skill and spoken format is not attractive. Dia akan jadi macam bila you present in a group, yang peers you akan kata macam jadi lawak tau. Okay, so for those yang ada your accent is very thick ni, macam Kelantan ke, tapi kalau macam yang Kelantan yang Terra English tu memang sedap lah kita dengar. Okay, so yang when you speak English and then you bring together your accent of your Kedah or Penang or Kelantan ni, so you have to practice a lot. Okay, to make sure your confidence level when you present the work, to present your idea, so that your colleagues and your peers will understand better and they have respect on you. Okay, and then next, it is also call it as presentation skills, but under written and graphic format. Okay, so for writing also have a language. We have a standard language, or we have the maybe if you read a lot of books, for example buku cerita, okay, so buku cerita pun when you read, if a good author, then the sentence that they made is very nice. So that is a skill, writing skill. The way they present, the way they structure the word, okay, seolah-olah macam kita berada kat depan author tersebut, kita berada dekat kawasan yang author tu explain. So that is the writing skill. Similar with the engineering world. If you have a problem and then you successfully solve the problem, but you are not able to explain what is the problem and how you solve it, so that makes other people don't understand what you are doing. So bila your superior didn't understand what you are doing, so they will judge, okay, you are not a good staff, you are not a good engineer. So macam mana dia nak promote you to be a senior engineer? Okay, so itu yang dekat level engineer lah. But for managerial level, all of this is part and parcel of life lah actually. Okay, listening, sebab sometimes the worker will come to you and then they will explain their problem, so you have to listen first and then ask the question to make sure the staff will continue to do their work, to motivate the staff. Okay, presentation skill and writing skill, so you will be the middleman between non-managerial level and manager. So you want to make sure the manager understand. And you also to make sure to because you will be the disseminator, so you have to bring all the ideas from top manager to deliver to your non-managerial level of workers. Okay, that's why communication skill is very important. And then effectiveness skill. For effectiveness skill, contributing to corporate mission or departmental objective. So kalau you tengok yang rumah UTM tu, kita ada mission dengan apa? Kita ada mission, okay, corporate mission. So how to achieve that? Okay, and then customer focus. What is the customer wants? So we want to think, okay, how we want to satisfy the customer. And then multitasking, of course. All the manager, all the good engineer, you will be the multitasking people. Walaupun macam orang kata, okay, perempuan more multitasking compared to men. Tapi when you do your work, okay, when you're at the working place setting, so you have to adopt with multitasking. Okay. Okay, negotiating skills. Okay, ini pun satu lagi, as a manager or as a leader, you kena pandai negotiate lah. Negotiate with the, sebab sometimes it's not about negotiate about the price. Kalau you pergi kedai ke apa kan, you want to negotiate, okay, to buy more cheaper product. Tak. Negotiating skill sometimes, okay, kadang-kadang kita face dengan problematic staff. Contohnya macam dalam UTM pun kadang-kadang ada jugalah pensyarah yang have a problematic staff. So ada pensyarah, they don't want to teach in English, 100% in English, even though in the class they have international students. So as a director or as a manager, the director have to deal with this problematic staff and negotiate. Give, kena pandai, macam mana kita nak panggil? Kalau macam boyfriend and girlfriend tu more sweet talker lah, supaya hati dia sedap, and then they will do the work. Okay, but in working place setting, negotiating skills ni to make sure the worker able to do the work even though he don't want to do the work. You try to negotiate. Okay, or kalau dia berkeras tak nak juga, then we have to find solution to negotiate. Maybe swap the students or swap the lecturers to other section. So that is also negotiating skills. Okay, and then next is project management. Okay, sekejap makanan saya dah sampai.
Yeay.
Kakak. Pinjam duit kakak. Pinjam duit kakak. Pinjam sekali. Cepat. Sekejap Pinjam RM10. Cepat. Okay, sorry.
Tak apa.
Tak apa doktor.
Apa
Tak apa, tak apa, tak apa.
Okay. So you all diam-diam boleh pergi dapur kan? Okay. Okay, so we continue for project management. Okay, tadi negotiating skill and then next is project management. So what is the project management? Before that, this semester have you take the system design?
Yes.
Okay. So ramai ke yang ambil system design?
Ramai.
Ramai.
Ambil.
Macam mana?
Ada talk
Semua.
Rasa semua doktor.
Semua
Oh,
ambil.
semua Okay, so semua maknanya malam ni kita jumpa lagi lah.
betul.
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 Okay, malam ni sebab I will talk about the project management, how to manage the project for design. Okay. Dah. Dah apa ada kelas ni? Buat kerja. Jadi saya tengok. Okay. So kalau semua project management ni I think, and then in fact you also learn about project management a little bit in industry engineering, if you still remember. Ingat tak?
Ingat doktor, ingat.
Okay. So malam ni is actually recap je lah. Cuma kalau project management during industry engineering tu is more on general and mostly on construction dan sebagainya. But for system design, you will receive a project, design project. So how you manage your project. So the approach is similar, okay. So itu adalah on top of you do the multitasking, you do the negotiating skill. So you also have to have the project management skill. So in other words, is planning skill. Okay. Okay, next is reviewing operations and implementing improvement. So because we are in engineering world, so of course you have to review the operations, and then those operations is not effective and efficient, you have to review and think about the improvement. Because as a engineer, okay, we love the problems because we know if there is a problem, then there is the opportunity for improvement. There is always a room for improvement. Okay. All right. Next is setting and maintaining performance standards internally and externally. So of course we have to maintain and we have to set the standards, the performance standards. So as a manager, you have to set the minimum standard for your department. And for external, to ensure, okay, other people look your department is very perform. So you also have to portray the good thing outside of to make other people see, okay, your department is very good. Kalau kerja pun sama juga. Kalau kerja as an engineer, okay, mula-mula kerja, then you try to hide your weakness. Kalau nak tanya pun ada cara tanya secara bijak. Okay. So that will portray your performance standards. Alright, and then next is setting priorities for attention and activity. So you have to prioritize which activity is the most important. And then lastly is time management. So time management, that's why from your childhood until now, even though you always attended the time management courses, but until now kadang-kadang time management pun out. Betul tak? Tak ada banyak distraction kan?
Betul.
Betul.
Ada Squid Game lah apalah, and then at the end your assignment pun you do during last minute. So whatever it is, nanti bila dah kerja pun sama juga, time management is very important. So kita kalau boleh tak nak bawa your work bring at home. Okay, so that's why you have to plan your time lah during the working hours tu. Okay, yang mana dulu yang kena siap. Alright, next interpersonal skills as a manager. So of course you have the coaching and mentoring skills. Coaching, you kena coach your staff, okay, and you will be the mentor to your staff. Even me myself dah work in UTM for 20 years, okay, and then since 2018 I find the mentor for me. So I approach Prof. Dr. Omar. Prof. Dr. Omar is not in my area. Prof. Dr. Omar is more on marine, but I know his coaching skill and mentoring skill is very superb. So I approached him personally. So I said, okay, Prof, I would like to be your mentee. So within 2 years, he coaching me and mentor me in terms of research. It's not in terms of teaching, but in terms of research. So he will be the guidance, the guide for my career path. Okay. So similar, when you work outside, if your manager, nanti bila you jadi engineer, and then minta-minta ditakdirkan you jumpa dengan manager yang very good. Okay, because the good manager, they will bring all the anak buah together to climb up the ladder. Dia tak pijak anak buah dia, but bring all together to be more successful in the future. So that is the coaching. Okay, and then next, diversity skills. Diversity skills, working with diverse people and cultures. So that is interpersonal skill. You are not only working all Malay, all Indian, all Chinese. It's no longer suitable for this kind of world right now. Okay, that's why English is very important. Language is very important. So if you brought up during childhood in sekolah kebangsaan, okay, or sekolah kebangsaan jenis SJ sekolah kebangsaan jenis apa nama dia?
SJK.
SJKC.
Sekolah jenis
Sekolah jenis kebangsaan.
Okay, SJKC ke ataupun SJKT. Betul?
Betul.
So kalau you brought up during this childhood, sekolah kebangsaan semua Melayu, sekolah Cina semua Cina, sekolah India semua India. Yang you tak mix with other cultures, with other diverse people, so you have to start right now lah. Because saya tak check nama, tapi tak ada international students kan? Hari tu kita dah check betul? Tak ada international students. There is no international students in this class? Or we have international students? Except Indonesian, Indonesian can understand both language. Yang from Arab ke, from Libya ke. Okay. So if you have the opportunity to know your colleague, to know your friends from Arabic country or from Middle East, from European country, okay, so just mix around with them. Because when we mix together, then we indirectly we will develop our interpersonal skills. We are trying to understand their culture. Okay, so I share my story. When I did my PhD in 2007, so I went to the UK, Liverpool University. Okay, Liverpool menang kan 5-0. Okay, so when I reach in Liverpool, I don't bring my family, I don't bring my kids. So my aim is to improve myself, because I'm not able to further my study in Malaysia, because my first degree in UTM, my master also in UTM. So when I want to pursue my PhD in UTM, top management don't allow that. So they said, if you are all degrees in UTM, so the exposure will be lesser. So I went to the UK alone. I don't have friends. Okay, I live, and then my friend in Liverpool choose a place for me where I have to mix with Indian UK, with European students, graduates and postgraduate students. And my office mate among Taiwanese, Iranian, seorang from China, and then the other one from Middle East, Arab. And luckily, when I attended one of the course, I know one student, one PhD student. She is from Thailand. She is also a lecturer in Thailand, in Bangkok. So at the end, I close with her. So she is, until now, she is my best friend. And then, so starting from there, I learned a lot of cultures from other countries, Thailand, Arabic, Iran, and Taiwan, and China. Okay, so if you have the opportunity, then try to expose to this, mix around with other people, know people, because if you know people, so indirectly you will improve your personal skills, you will improve your confidence level, okay, and you will improve your communication skill as well, right? And then next, networking within the organization. Oh, okay, satu lagi, waktu yang I went there, and then some of Malay groups, dia pandang serong, dia kata, why not you close with Malay people? Is it mix around with Malay don't have a standard? Dia cakap macam tu. Tapi saya kawan je dengan Malay, cuma the wavelength is a little bit different lah at that time. Okay. Alright, next, networking outside the organization. Okay, you have to develop the networking within the organization and outside the organization. You have to know more people, okay? And then working in teams, cooperation, and commitment. Okay, I received a message from one of the students saying that he want to do the group project alone, because all the groups are full. Okay, tak tergesen. So mana yang masih lagi ada group yang kosong, So try to contact Karti Gessen to be your team members lah. Janganlah to be macam terlalu jumut sangat, Chinese, Melayu tak nak macam tu. Dan nanti bila working setting pun you have to work in team, right? Okay, so this is the matrix for management and management function matrix. So this is the function that the earlier slide that we discussed just now, planning, organizing, leading and controlling. So this is the skill. So you can see, okay, for example, budgeting is under planning, running productive meetings is planning, okay, and then which skill is under organizing, leading and controlling. Okay, so how the manager's job is changing? So of course, due to the increasing importance of customers. Customers is always right. Okay, because without customer, the organization will not be exist. So we are trying to manage customer relationship. Okay, we take the responsibility for all the managers and employees, and we do the consistent high quality customer service. Because once if let's say customer complain about our organization or about our product, so it will give a bad impact to our organization. So that's why the importance to make sure the relationship with customer is very, very good. So if they don't satisfied, they will directly to you. Okay, and then next, innovation, doing things differently, exploring new territory and taking risks. Okay, so during the pandemic, we have a problem with the operation of organization. We have a problem with the company operations because we have a limited we have a big problem on pandemics. So a lot of companies try to do the innovation where they don't explore on e-business. In fact, previously when we want to during Hari Raya kan, during Hari Raya previously all Malaysians will go to Jekyll, will go to Angsana, okay, to buy clothes. Okay, but then when COVID-19 came in, the way the company do the business is totally upside down, 360 degree different. Even baju raya, all the it's not only boutique but all the resources of the company, they do the online business. Printer, okay, because we do work at home, so we have to buy printer, we have to buy A4 papers through online. So that is the innovation. So we do the company do the things differently. So when something innovation comes, so the manager have to change their role, and it's a little bit challenging to take that opportunity. Okay, all right. Okay, ni some of the changes including changing technology, increased security threats, increased emphasis on organizational and managerial ethics, and increased competitiveness. So this is all the factors that change the manager's job. Okay. Okay, now we go for the organization. So this is the traditional organization and this is the contemporary organization. So for traditional organization is more on stable, inflexible, job focus. Okay, ni you boleh nampak lah, permanent jobs, but right now, most of the company adopted contemporary organization where the organization is more dynamic, more flexible. And then in fact for UTM pun, kalau dulu we have to clock in, clock out at 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. But now it's more flexible, and then in fact you will have a class with me tonight at 8 o'clock, 8:30, 8:30 o'clock at night time. So it's flexible, okay, based on trust. Okay, and then skill focus, not only for job focus, but they will focus more on skills. What skills that you have. And then work is defined in terms of tasks, not the position. Even though my position is associate professor, but it's not all about the associate professor, but it based on tasks. Okay, team oriented, not permanent job. Okay, it's temporary job. And then in fact for medical medical officer, MO, it's all temporary jobs. The government didn't offer the permanent job for MO. Okay, and then in fact when you been accepted as an engineer in the organization, your position will be temporary, not permanent yet. Okay, you will have the probation period between 3 to 6 months. But for UTM, organization of UTM, the probation period for the new lecturer is 1 year to up to 3 years. So we will observe the performance of the new staff. If they are not perform, then anytime we can terminate. Itu lama tu, 3 years. Okay. And then involvement oriented. It's not about managers always make the decision, but we do the input. We get the input from the worker, then we do the consensus lah. All involvement oriented. Okay. And then employees participate in decision making, not rule oriented. Kalau macam MC, bukanlah MC seorang je yang buat decision, no. Okay. And then we have the customer oriented, diverse workforce. Workdays have no time boundaries. Okay, and then in fact I always receive the WhatsApp and message from the students at night time. So there is no workdays time boundaries. So that is contemporary organization. Kadang saya nak tidur pun PA bagi message. So kalau macam saya malas nak layan, saya cakap lah, okay, I want to sleep now. So continue tomorrow. Okay. So kalau nak kacau pun kena berpada-pada lah. Tak adalah sampai pukul 12. Unless kalau urgent. Unless it's very urgent, then you can call your academic advisor or your lecturer. Okay. Alright, lateral and network relationship. Ini in terms of network relationship lah yang tadi yang kita dah discuss. And work anywhere, anytime. Like me right now, I work at home and at any time. Because sometimes there is a disturbance from pos laju lah semua kan. And then sometimes go to kitchen untuk masak. But not today lah. Today saya beli makanan je. Okay. And then tonight we will have to work lah tonight. Okay. So ini tak ada apa ni. Okay, challenges and reward being a manager. Ini pun boleh baca lah kot. Okay. But we want to go for next slide. Okay. We go for the second part of management, where management yesterday and today. Okay, we have historical background of management, scientific management, general administrative theory, quantitative theory, system theory, contingency approach, and current issues. Okay, so this is the historical background, a little bit on the management. Okay, so we have ancient management. We have Adam Smith about the wealth of nations, 1776, and industrial revolution. So from this period, and then they establish in terms of industrial engineering as well as management. Okay. Okay, so we have some of the approach of management theories. Okay, so kejap. So we have scientific management, we have general administrative theory, quantitative management, organizational behavior, system approach, and contingency approach. So when we check this one, okay, I will give you about 10 minutes. Okay, mana group you? Dah ada berapa group dah? Okay, right now we have 16 group. So 16 group. Oh, ni group 3 ni ada lagi kosong. Siapa? Kati. Kati Gassen, are you in? You can contact Ragavan, Nagulan, Yuvanesh dengan Sharwin. Ada lagi satu kosong. Okay, we referring to your group. Group 1, 2, 3. Cakap kakak. 1, 2, 3 will discuss on scientific management. 4, 5, 6 on general administrative. 7, 8, 9 on quantitative management. 10, 11, 12 on organizational behavior. 13, 14, 16 on system approach. And 16 is contingency approach. Okay, saya takut ada lagi yang group yang tertinggal. Ni 1, 2. Okay, 1, 2 je lah. Ni 3 and 4. Nanti kita repeat balik. 5 and 6. 7 and 8. 9 and 10. 11 and 12. Okay, kita repeat balik sini. 13. 14. 15 and 16. Okay. So I give you about 10 minutes to discuss, and even though you have the slides, but I don't want you explain totally 100% in slides, but you have to find the example of each of the approach of management. Okay, so now is 11:28. So I will call, I give you 10 minutes. So by 11:40, I will call randomly for the each of the major approaches to management for the group, okay, to present. You can provide one slide, one simple slide to share later. Okay, is that okay? Any question?
No, Doktor.
10 minutes Alright. Okay, now 11:41. Okay, can I call group scientific management? Who want to be the first one to present? Either group 1, 2 or 13. Cepatlah. Dah nak jadi engineer ni tak perlu nak panggil nama.
Ya,
Who want to present?
saya.
Zakwan.
Ya,
Zakwan from group
group 1.
1, okay. Alright, I close my sharing.
Ya.
Hello.
Yeah.
Can you see my slide?
Alright. Okay.
Ada tak? Hello?
Nampak.
Dia
Nampak?
dengar. Dia nampak.
Okay. So, this is the scientific management from group 1. Introduction. Scientific management is a management theory that analyzes workflow to improve economic efficiency, especially labor productivity. This management theory, developed by Frederick Winslow Taylor, was popular in the 1880s and 1890s in US manufacturing industry. So this is the guy named Frederick Winslow Taylor that introduced the scientific management. Okay, these are some of core principle that determined by him. Okay, so the first one, look at each job or task scientifically to determine the one best way to perform the job. This is a change from the previous rule of thumb method where workers devise their own ways to do the job. Second, hire the right workers for each job and train them to work at maximum efficiency. The third one, monitor worker performance and provide instruction and training when needed. And the fourth one, divide the work between management and labor so that management can plan and train and workers can execute the task efficiently. So, ni je yang sempat bincang tadi.
Okay. Any question from the floor? Kalau you tak faham, you boleh tanya Zakwan and team.
Ayo.
Kan saya kata for year kena banyak discussion.
Ada soalan? Tak ada, tak ada.
Tak ada soalan maknanya not good.
Oh.
Tadi puas saya cakap, okay, you have to have the interpersonal skill, listening and asking questions. So mana perginya benda tu? Lagi tak ada questions lagi tu tak boleh pergi pada next group.
Nak tanya?
Cara tanya macam mana tu?
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Fakraldi from Group 2 and I want to ask one question. Is it the scientific management is same like human resource?
Now I will pass to Zikri and Badrul.
Can you repeat the question?
Is it the scientific management is the same like human resource job?
I don't think so.
Macam tu je jawab.
Why?
Let me answer this question. For me, sorry, my name is Ahmad Barami Bezulaini from the Group 1. So for me, the human resource job and the scientific management job is not same, because the human resources job is focused on the division of a business that charged in finding, screening, recruiting, and training job application. And for the scientific job, is most like how do we plan the jobs, like they're more focused on cost and rules that when we want to operate some jobs, like that.
Okay, can you give some example of focus on rules and to create the job?
Wait, madam. Examples. Examples.
Cuba you tanya kawan-kawan you yang lain, faham ke tak apa yang you cerita tadi?
Do you guys understand?
So lah.
So maknanya tak faham lah tu.
Example.
Ataupun grup lain, grup number 2 and 13 can help. Okay, tak apa. Sebab ni baru first time kan. Okay, it is actually scientific management ni. Okay, if you think about the work design, work study in SEMM 3813. Ingat tak subjek tu?
Ingat doktor.
Okay. In that subject, it is actually has been introduced by Frank and Lillian Gilbreth lah. Adalah dia punya siapa-siapa yang buat tu kan. So that is one of the scientific management where they divide the work after they do all the calculations and they divide the task to the specified worker. Because they want to increase the productivity. Ingat? They want to set the dia punya standard time. So when they set the standard time, so whoever operator, whoever worker comes in, the worker have to specify and follow that standard. So itu adalah one of the scientific management approach. Okay, kita tengok dia punya ni sekejap Putting the right person on the job with the correct tools and equipment. So correct tools and equipment, okay, yang tu which related with work design, okay. And then having a standardized method of doing the job, okay, that is the work study. Betul? Okay, and providing an economic incentive to the worker. So if let's say the worker achieve the target, so they will give the incentive to the worker. So how they manage the work to divide the person to do the job, it based on the scientific management, based on the calculation. Okay. Okay, ni kita ada Frank and Gilbreth. Frank and Gilbreth also focus on increasing worker productivity through the reduction of waste motion. So yang mana yang movement, okay, that waste motion, waste movement, they will eliminate to be more productive. So how they eliminate? Based on the scientific management, based on the calculation, based on the industrial analysis, industrial engineering analysis. And then another approach is develop the micronometer to time worker motions and optimize work performance. Ini all this is the SIFU for industrial engineering, industrial revolution. Waktu yang dekat US dulu, waktu yang military time. Okay. Okay, how do today's manager use scientific management? They use time and motion studies to increase productivity. Ini yang kita kata tadi, time and motion studies tu is work design lah, that you learn in SAMM 3813. Is it last 2 semester? Last 2 semester kan? Semua senyap je ni. Dengar ke tak ni?
Last semester.
Ada last semester.
Last semester, okay. Ke last semester ada yang student saya? Tak ada yang attend my class. Alright, so ini adalah scientific management. How they do the management, it based on the calculation of industrial engineering. This is the example lah. Time and motion studies, productivity. So after they calculate, they say, okay, this worker is suitable for this. Okay, that is scientific management. Okay, since now it's almost 12 o'clock, so we will continue to discuss this for the rest of the major approach of management. So get ready with the example. Okay, so yang ni first group is okay, and then in fact this is first trial for you to discuss in class. But after this, I don't teach a lot, but you have to find by yourself and relate whatever you learn, whatever you see, whatever you read, together put in this sharing session. Okay. Alright, so with that, I think we end our session today. So I hope you understand lah the scientific management. So get ready for other groups, general administrative theory until contingency approach ni. On this, bila kita punya kelas lagi?
Khamis.
Thursday.
Okay, Thursday. So still have time for you to study and get some information, okay? Alright, so that's all. Okay, bye. Assalamualaikum.
Salam. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Yeah,
Thank you, Doctor.